Eric Williams remembers driving his two daughters to a back-to-school event in October of 2021.
I was just showing myself coming to a perfect stop, and about a second later, I hear boom, force, which shot me in the middle of the intersection.
The vehicle that struck him was a marked Philadelphia police SUV driven by an 8-year PPD veteran. Williams took this video after the crash. His car was totaled. He says his daughters were shaken up, but okay. He was in pain.
Went to the hospital. Turned out that I suffered something in my neck and something in my back was wrong.
That crash was one of more than 1,600 police vehicle accidents between March 2020 and April 2024 looked at by the department's Safety Review Board. The NBC10 investigators obtained those records through a right-to-know request. The board consists of PPD's safety officer and the commanding officers for training and crash investigations. The trio determined that 63% of those accidents, including the one where Williams was rear-ended, were preventable. Per the city's guidelines, that means the police officer failed to do everything that could reasonably be done to avoid the crash. A third of those preventable accidents were recommended for disciplinary action.
It's not only an officer safety issue, but a citizen, community safety concern.
Scott Wolf is the director of the PhD Criminal Justice Program at Michigan State University. He was part of a group of researchers who looked into police-involved accidents in California. We shared Philadelphia's numbers with him.
When you look at high numbers, sometimes they could be an indicator of a problem, but it could be policy compliance.
The department declined our request for an interview about its preventable accidents. So we caught up with the commissioner as he walked into police headquarters.
May I ask you about preventable accidents?
No.
I just want to learn what the city is doing to try to reduce those. You guys were at 63% of police-involved crashes being preventable.
The NBC10 investigators' review of PPD crash information found that 60 officers had 3 or more preventable accidents between mid-2017 and April 2024. 23 cops had 4 or more. The officer who crashed into Williams had 6 accidents that the city determined could have been avoided during that time frame.
I don't think that officers should be on the road. There's too many accidents.
6 days after he crashed into you, he crashed into somebody else, also preventable.
Oh, wow. He might need his license revoked.
We reached out to the officer who struck Williams, but did not hear back. It's unclear if he was disciplined. The police department redacted that section of the records. Safety Review Board meeting summaries between July 2020 and May 2024 do show that 333 preventable crashes were recommended for discipline. Wolf says police accidents impact more than just the people involved.
Taxpayers pay for cruisers and they pay for time off for officers that get hurt, and they pay for lawsuits stemming from citizens getting harmed.
Philadelphia has spent more than $15 million between 2020 and 2024 settling lawsuits in police-involved crashes that the department determined were preventable. That's according to an NBC10 investigators' review of court records and city settlement data. Williams received $40,000 of that money through a lawsuit settlement with the city.
I definitely don't think that's going to compensate me for my pain for the rest of my life, what I go to.
The city has a $500,000 cap on paying for damages for such accidents. And in some cases where people have died or lost limbs, that's all the city will pay out. They're protected under the state's constitution by a law and cap that was established in 1978.
Now, Claudia, did the expert you interviewed say how departments can work to reduce these preventable accidents?
So one of the things that he said is key are the supervisors in the field, as opposed to, the commissioner or a big policy. He said officers on the ground are more likely to listen to their direct supervisor, and so it's key for that person to really enforce the policy and just kind of remind them that this is something that they should abide by.
Yeah, definitely an eye-opening report. Claudia Vargas with NBC10 Investigators, thank you.